the parents need to be well connected with God, and then well connected with the wife and husband, because your relationship with your husband is the foundation of having successful kids. If you don't love each other, then that thing, it will be visible in your children when they grow up. So if you still have young children, work on your relationship with your husband or with your wife, and then that relationship will be contagious, will be reflected in the way you raise the children. But if you think you're perfect, you're doing everything well, so when you grow up, when your kids grow up, and you look at the gaps they have, and then I don't want to hear you say, I failed. This is the greatest job, this is the great job God has given us. This is the best job God has given you, to raise these children. I don't want you to reach in your 60s and then you start saying, I failed. I failed my daughter. My daughter is failing in marriage because of what I did. My son is failing at his place of work because of what I did. So we should reflect. We should talk to people who are doing a better job.
I don't really agree that there's a perfect parents. So we can't say we are going to be perfect, but we want a successful child, by the definition of step by step. We are going to define success in today's conversation. And at the Hagne Space, I would like to emphasize that we believe in education. With the fact that education must feed to awareness, and awareness must inspire change. And we are going to embark on a series of not just to think being perfect as parents, but about conscious parents willing to grow, to heal, and to raise a generation that is emotionally healthy, responsible, and grounded. I want us to unpack this from the simple definitions of success, and I would like to begin with a story. One of my trainers mentioned one day that success should not be looked at as the ultimate, but success should be defined from the simple steps that we undertake every day to get to the ultimate. It is also possible that the ultimate may never be attained, but we have daily celebrations to make. I want to welcome a father and a family counselor that has been with me for the past conversations to help me unpack this subject. At what point do you feel successful as a parent?
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Do I have to introduce myself? You did mention my name.
Just in case there are, new subscribers or new viewers, it might be helpful for them to
So
connect.
my name is Nagunja Godfrey, and I'm a Christian counselor and a family coach, life coach. So I would start by a scripture. In Matthew 16:26, it asks, what good will it be for someone to gain the whole world but face their soul?
Wow.
Yeah, most when it comes to education, what comes first to parents? Good schools. Maybe, okay, let's start at home. Have a very good home, very good, nice house, a nice car, good job, and then take your kids to a better school. But sometimes we lose, because as this man is saying, sometimes you want to be like others. You want to copy your neighbor. You want to be like someone else you see outside there you admire, but you don't know their journey. But if you forget the fear of God, to instill the fear, the love of God in your children, I think that's the most important thing in life. Because as these children grow, what they need is a good environment. where they feel loved, appreciated, and you guide them in a way that will make them a better man or a better woman in the future. Yeah. When I'm raising my children, I want my daughter to be successful in relationships. How you deal with people? Yeah. Do you respect people? Do you love people you work with? Yeah. So that, the antidote there is the love of God. Yeah. The fear of God in their lives. So if they don't have that, then me as a Christian, I believe I'm building for failure.
And that's not what we want.
Yes.
But the problem that we have in society today, Godfrey, is the fact that parent success has been reduced to, as you said, to wealth, to school grades, to titles, etc. So you believing in the Bible and you want, to preserve the soul. As a counselor, I would like you to speak into the lives of the people that still think it is more about the titles, the wealth that they have to accumulate and the grades. And maybe my question is, in the society where we live, how do most parents define success? We have talked about it briefly, but I want us to unpack and ask ourselves, how have we observed parents defining success? And by the way, sometimes you speak about the genesis of things, and sometimes you ask yourself, but who started up with this definition of success? Where is this definition coming from?
People have different worldviews. I think it's from the world. But Paul tells us, transform your life. Be transformed by the word of God. But we are being transformed or influenced by the world. Yeah. I think for me, my job is to raise this child in the right way, and as this person grows, will flourish because I provided the foundation. I think what matters the most is for us to provide the foundation. Like this child when he's still young, maybe let me take you back the first 5 years. If I do well in these first 5 years, my daughter or my son will grow up with a healthy brain. We feel loved, the immunity will be high, so it will be balanced.
The foundational years.
Yes. So it doesn't matter what school you are taking this child to.
Yeah. In fact, at that stage, they even prefer to stay at home.
Yes, but because of modernity, because life have changed, so sometimes some parents feel they are safe at school than leaving them at home. Yeah. Because during our parents' time when they were young, mothers were stay-home moms. Yeah. But today everyone goes to work. Yeah. And some people don't feel like leaving their children with maids or so they feel safer when they are
somewhere taken care of by professionals. Yeah.
But now, talking about spending time with them, especially when they are young. I had a friend, or I would call a mentor. For him, they sat down, both of them, they're working. They said, whoever pays much is the one who's going to stay in employment. So the one who was being paid less, the one who stayed home. They even homeschool their children. Yeah. But you visit this home, you would see very loving children, very loving home, and well-disciplined children. Just because they made a right decision. And even in class, they are doing well.
So for them, success was not defined by taking children to the best schools.
Yeah. For them, they say we are going even to homeschool our children. Yeah. Okay, homeschooling is like a new thing here in Rwanda. Yeah. But even if you are taking them to these schools around, but when they come back home, who is at home? Because I was reading a book by Dr. Dobson, Raising Girls the Right Way. He says that children need us 4 times a day.
Yeah.
When they wake up,
Yeah.
when they come back from school, when they eat
at mealtime,
and when they go back to bed.
So you're the first person they see.
Yes.
You're the last person they see.
So how many people have been successful in that area?
Yeah. Have you heard about this story of a child who saw the dad spending a night at home, and in the morning when the child saw the father, is like, oh, so this time you're here, so this time you slept at home, as if he has not been sleeping at home. Maybe he was coming very late and leaving very early, so the child never knew that a father actually spends.
Yeah, like one time I met a mother, and we were talking about parenting, and she said that in my life I have grown up children, no one ever showered our children. It's me and my husband. So she told me a story that one time a maid tried to enter into the shower
to wash one of the kids.
Yes, and they shouted, they made an alarm.
They said no.
And this maid couldn't understand what was happening.
They were not used to
that. They
that.
said in our culture, in our tradition here, no one showered us, only mommy or daddy.
Okay.
So they determined that we are going to do this.
So they set boundaries.
Yes.
For their children.
Yes.
And it's like, for them, success meant that they are present.
Yeah.
They are present parents.
Some people will say, spend more time with your children. But how do you spend time with them? Is it just being home, you're passing there on social media and TV? But as you do these things for your children, you're bonding.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little story. I remember showering my daughter one time, and she looked at me and I said, you are the best dad in the world.
Oh, what
a feeling. So touching.
You wanted to wash her many more times.
Yes. So,
such a sweet
it is
feeling.
rewarding also.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, they say spend time with your children. It's not just being home, being around.
Yeah.
When Natasha, this time I'm home. But when you are home, what do you do with them?
What do you do? How do you relate? How do you bond with them? And Godfrey, as I started out mentioning, success from the story that I shared is defined by the small steps that you engage in that then lead you to the ultimate. Because now I feel like your daughter or my son or somebody else that is taking care of their children, there are certain things that are happening. Number one, you're teaching them to relate. Number two, both of you, your emotional part, the child's emotional bit is growing, and your emotional part is also, being serviced, if I could say.
Like that.
And it is so fulfilling to feel like at the end of the day, when you're going to bed, on whose face have you put a smile? And that takes me to one of the questions that I had as we were almost starting this conversation, Godfrey. What are some of your observed damages in society when it comes to parents continually thinking about success from the other angle of good grades, goodies, the clothes, the shoes, the PS, is it the PS5, those things? What are some of the damages that you have possibly experienced, you see today, but you also envision?
Let me answer that with a little story.
Yeah.
There was this man who was very rich back in Rwanda. He had mansions in Kampala. He had big farms in different areas. And they only had one child, one boy. And they sat together with the mother, because these people, unfortunately, they were HIV positive. And they said, we have to prepare for our son. So they took this boy to the best schools in the country. But they never got time
to be with
him. Taking a child in school when this kid is in second primary. So we taking this international school, very good. They speak very good English. Then after that, they took this boy to secondary school and international school. And then these two people passed away.
So ideally, they didn't prepare him to even take on those things, yeah?
Wait a moment.
Uh-huh.
When, after they passed, this boy had finished university. You know what he did? He sold all the cows in the farm, emptied it. Then after he sold the farm, then he came to Kampala. He sold the properties.
Wow.
And he ended up on the street.
Wow. He wasn't prepared.
He wasn't prepared.
Emotionally, mentally, even economically,
yes,
socially. He didn't have a relationship with those things anyway.
So now, wherever they are, I think when they look back, all people who in the neighborhood, they would say they never gave time to their children.
Yeah.
They never spend time with their children. You know, I've seen many people who are very successful.
Yeah.
Those are the people who spend their time with their children. If you're doing business, you do business with them. You know, I'm going to be a little bit controversial. I was looking at two very powerful people. Looking at President Trump. You look at his children, it's like they are well behaved, they're well educated. You know, education is not all in a formal education. And then you look at maybe President Clinton, I don't even see their daughter or what. You look at other rich people. But President Trump used to go to do business with the children. He trained them hands-on. As he was working with them, you're training them, you're bonding with them. I believe he has a good relationship with them. You get? So, now, you send your children to a boarding school. They're at home just very little time. So you never get this bond.
Wow.
This time to bond with your daughter or your son. Now, when it comes to raising boys, boys need time to play. Boys need time to ask questions. They need to be laugh. They need to
They need to
exercise.
be allowed to be aggressive.
Be aggressive. But today, sometimes we raise boys like we are raising girls. I know you're a gender expert, maybe you don't agree with me. But we are different. Even the way our brains are wired, a girl and a boy are different. And even when you're raising girls, there is a way you raise them. Our traditions, our cultures tell us how to
parent them.
But we no longer do that. We raise our children the same way. And we end up having these lazy children are addicted to drugs, depression, you know.
Confused of what is may come their way.
Yes. Now this leads me to the dad is very busy. Even his spiritual life is down. And now what are you giving to your children? If you are not hooked to God, who is the source of your inspiration as you parent these children? If God is not in that, then you're giving your children something which is not authentic. So the parents need to be well connected with God, and then well connected with the wife and husband, because your relationship with your husband is the foundation of having successful kids. If you don't love each other, then that thing, it will be visible in your children when they grow up. So if you still have young children, work on your relationship with your husband, with your wife, and then that relationship will be contagious, will be reflected in the way you raise the children.
There are certain English expressions that I like. We learn from what we see, not from what we hear or from what we are told. So there is a power of observation, and that I think that is where you're coming from. What they observe you do. And we've seen in some families where a child will say, "Mom, why is it that I never see you mop?" For example. Or, "Dad, why is it that I never see you take away your plate from the dining?" Or, "Dad, I never see you play with me." Or they ask questions like, But does it mean all people are always perfect? Because you never say sorry.
Mm-hmm.
You never tell the truth about your mistakes. You know, I'll really share my own example. At some point, they asked me a question, my kids, and possibly they thought I was going to tell them something, you know, really as a perfect mother. And I told them, guys, I think they were asking me about a subject.
Mm.
And I told them, you know what? I was one of the good students, but guess what? I was a flop when it came to that subject. And they all laughed.
Mm.
I said, why are you guys laughing? And we thought, you know, we hear most parents say, hey, they were doing very good. I said, no, we can't do very good in all subjects. That one, and I think it was math. I'm not so horrible at math, but I wasn't the best, you know. And over time, I really didn't have this much interest. So the dad is far away. I mean, he knows his math. So I said, you know what, in that subject, I was a flop. And so they know that even then, when they grow up, there are areas where they should open up and say, you know what, this one. And I think before this conversation, you said something to do with giving people the grace, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you want to talk about that, the children that we are raising. When we speak about success, should we be very strict on them? Should we give them some grace?
You know, when you give them some grace, they just see you that you become human. But if you are this very strict, like you have this robotic kind of a relationship with them. But if sometimes I have to be vulnerable and tell the truth. Because even when they grow up, they will be able to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
They will not think that they are perfect. You know, perfectionism, sometimes when you look at someone who's perfect, at the surface they look great. But have a relationship with that person, then you will tell me.
God, you reminded me something. Let me tell you, you know, it is like, I was speaking to a group of teenagers, and sorry to cut you short, and one of the teenagers said, guys, we need to hurry up and go. I have constipated parents. And I'm like, what are you saying? And auntie, my parents are so strict, it gets on my nerves. Can you imagine?
Wow.
Eh? So yeah, I just wanted to bring that out also. You want to avoid a situation where your child will say, my parent is so strict, they get on my nerves. You know? Yeah.
It's like if someone breaks a glass, in some families they know you're going to be beaten.
Okay.
However much you ask for forgiveness.
For breaking a glass?
Yes.
Oh.
And when you beat them, it was just an accident. So you know what you're telling them? That this glass is more precious than you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But some wise parents will say, it's just a glass. I know it was an accident.
Please take care next time.
What do you think is going in the mind of that child?
Yeah, they know that the accidents happen, but you can also be forgiven and are more valued than the glass itself.
Yes, because you know, when you show parents that you love stuff more than you do, love them, they will also grow up loving stuff, and they'll be weak in relationships. And you know what happens when people love stuff? There's addictions. Today we have a lot of children who are in rehabs because we have failed at home. Our children are addicted to stuff because we replace the relationship with stuff.
Oh my God.
You get? So there we are not successful. So everyone would sit back and, you know, God has created us in a very amazing way. We are the only creation who can look in the mirror and say, I'm doing all this wrong. Can you tell me the other creation can do that? So we have this amazing way of we can change things. It's never too late.
Yeah.
You can always look back and say, I think I did something wrong. I can correct this.
Yeah.
Even your children, even when they are grown-ups, when you change, this change affects them whenever they are.
That's true. And Godfrey, as we come to the close of this conversation, I think you have touched it a little bit. I wanted to ask you, as a father, as a counselor, how can we help parents, for example, if at some point parents are not able to change anything, but the way they define success?
They can't change anything.
If they can't change anything, but change the way they think about the definition of success in their parenthood,
No.
What is that exciting change that can come up?
No, a human being is a feeling and a thinking human being.
Yes.
If you change someone thinking, you can easily change the behavior. You get?
So it is parents for us to change our thought process.
Yes.
And tell ourselves we can give grace to our children. Tell ourselves we can participate.
Sometimes in Rwanda here, we need to start having this culture of, if you say parent is doing a better job, ask that person to be your mentor, your coach. Or go for a professional coach. And tell that story how you're parenting. And then this person will be asking questions. I don't want to tell you go do ABCD.
Yeah.
But as I ask you questions, you realize that I think I've been doing it the wrong way. So then you can go back and change things. But if you think you're perfect, you're doing everything well, so when you grow up, when your kids grow up, and you look at the gaps they have, and then I don't want to hear you say, I failed. This is the greatest job, this is the great job God has given us. This is the best job God has given you, to raise these children. I don't want you reaching your 60s and then you start saying, I failed. I failed my daughter. My daughter is failing in marriage because of what I did. My son is failing at his place of work because of what I did. So we should reflect. We should talk to people who are doing a better job.
Yeah. Because we all need mentors anyway.
Yes.
And I think, Godfrey, because we mentioned that this is a series of conversations about especially parenting and our definition of success. And what you're trying to touch as we get to the close of this conversation is, okay, we've talked about the definition of success and we shared all these, thoughts. But do we ever make mistakes? And at what point do parents make mistakes? And that is a conversation that we are cooking for our viewers, so that we also we examine what are some of the mistakes that the people we've learned from, and from your own experience as a father and a family counselor, what are some of the mistakes that you observe parents do that we need to speak into, so that we together walk a journey? Because these things, it's not a one-off. You're not going to wake up in the morning and you're a perfect parent. And by the way, I don't really agree that there's a perfect parents.
Even Jesus' family, Jesus' family wasn't perfect.
So we can't say we are going to be perfect, but we want a successful child, but the definition of step by step.
As you raise children, there's this level where they are very young, they're still young, you are the one doing everything. But as they grow up, they're going to challenge you.
And you have to let them.
There is this saying in Uganda, I don't know whether you'll be able to translate for me. Even this young child.
That's Uganda. What did you say? Like your own child can drum for you and you dance.
Yes. Because as they grow up, because you have invested a lot in them, they're going to be, sometimes they're going to be smarter than you.
And you have to accept to dance to the tune.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I can give a perfect testimony. The Hagne Space, the YouTube channel. for me it was opened by my 12-year-old. And I just told him, okay, show me how to do these things. And he said, oh, come on. So, and since then I always tell him, I just do these conversations because you did.
The support.
Yeah, so, yeah.
So as a Christian parent, I believe true success is not measured by what we accumulate, but by who we become in Christ. So Matthew 6:33 reminds us that, but seek first the kingdom and his righteousness, and all
shall follow.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how I would love to end the conversation.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Seek first the kingdom of God, and the rest will follow. As parents, as Christian parents, we have to learn to go. I like to call it going to the cross, like putting yourself at the feet of Christ and say, you know what, I know I am weak in this area as a parent, but I know Christ, you can lead me, you can show me the way. And he's a perfect father.
Yeah.
He knows how to help us, go through things. Sometimes it's hard, other times it is easy. Today your child is very obedient, tomorrow they are not. Today they are sick, tomorrow they are not.
Yeah.
And as parents, we need to learn to live through all those waves. So today we've been talking about the definition of success as a parent. We also wanted to unpack some of the dangers that we see could emanate as a result of us trying to be so much, too closed to wealth, too closed to grades. By the way, we did unpack the grades, but maybe we will unpack it in the next episode, because some of us are so much hinged on the grades. How I can get 90 as your child, but 90 doesn't mean that I am a good child. I'm only doing it for you, but not for myself. And as a parent, what is your success for your child? Is when your child is able to own themselves in the future. So, see you in our next episode, and we will be speaking about some of these things, the mistakes that we've made as parents, and how to rectify them. See you next time. Shalom.